Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anna of Reinforcement Club. Today, we are going to talk about prioritizing what truly matters. We're going to tackle productivity today, not just being busy. Busy and productive, focusing on what truly matters at the end of the day. Now, I am going to bring about the time management matrix, which I got from the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This is to help you and me prioritize tasks and manage time more effectively by distinguishing the activities based on their urgencies and importance. So this approach would contribute on our long-term goal as well as our overall well-being by minimizing distractions and time-wasting activities. Now, this is how it goes. We got this 4 quadrants, which I'm going to show you on the screen. The first quadrant is urgent and important. The second one is not urgent but important. So when I say urgent, it has to be now. Important means it has something to do with your goals, with your well-being in the long run. Not urgent, it doesn't have to be done now, but important. So it can help you really perceive or learn along the way by means of, tackling the urgent, and then by, bringing ourselves back to the not non-urgent but important. In this non-urgent but important, this will give us time for planning, so that the things, our mistakes from the past by tackling the urgent task will not going to happen again. This is also for prevention. Not urgent but important has something to do with relationship building, health, high quality relaxation. These are all important for our well-being but not urgent. And on the third quadrant, we have the so-called urgent, which means now it has to be done now but not important. Urgent but not important means that it calls your attention now. Not important because this task have nothing to do with your goals as a manager, as a person, as an employee. Your goal is to finish your project. But there are some emails, phone calls, somebody's reaching out to you so that they can tell you their problems and needs where, it could be a wrong timing, but these tasks are all distractions. Now, in the fourth quadrant, we have the so-called not urgent and not important. You know what I mean? These are social media, watching TV, gossiping, chit-chat, shopping. So you can avoid this or limit. Now, the objective of this time management matrix is that to help us focus on our long-term goals. We could highlight the important but not urgent, but at the same time, it encourages us to be proactively planning and never forgetting our personal development activities, which contributes to our long-term success. Although we are planning, we're looking forward for our, the progress of our career. Although we're all up to that, we must never, forget to ensure to address the immediate and critical issues, which is in the first quadrant, the urgent and the important tasks. Now, examples of the urgent and important tasks, those are deadlines, exams, real-life crisis, emergencies, last-minute preparations, meaningful appointments. Now, this time management matrix will also help us reduce stress by planning and focusing only on important tasks. But never forget to manage the urgencies. And, taking note, having to considering this time matrix will help us eliminate time wasters, eliminate activities that are neither urgent nor important, freeing up time for us for more productive activities, avoiding distractions. So, in order for us to avoid distractions, we have to categorize this task. I know it's going to take time to really categorize tasks because if you are not doing this, but if you do it once, twice, third time, fourth time, fifth time, it'll be automatic when you practice this. And this will also enhance our personal and professional growth. Why? Because prioritizing our tasks, allocating time for various aspects in our life, not only in the work side, career side, but also including in our personal development, leisure, family, building making time with real friends. That means so much for us. And prioritizing tasks by means of categorizing them will also give us a room, a space, and a time to learn new skills, maintain our good health, and build strong and real relationships with people whom we can trust. Now let's delve deeper into this quadrants of time management matrix so we can explore the practical strategies and benefits as well as the challenges in managing tasks in every category. Now the first one, we have the so-called urgent and important. These are the tasks for crisis management. Tasks that needs immediate attention, usually deadline driven. So when you go to the office, you focus immediately on this things to do. Sometimes this could be unexpected. These are the tasks which will give you high stress and high priority activities, but also high return. Because there are also other things to do which will give us stress, but low or no return at all. So we are looking after we are up to the ROI of our time and energy. So examples of this urgent and important task. So once again, meeting deadlines for work or school projects, emergencies, sudden health issues. It could be your own health issues or immediate family members, your kids, your spouse, your mom. So these are also problems that may arise unexpectedly. So it could be in the workplace, system breakdown, delayed in the system, delayed of a bunch of clients that your team has to adjust with the time. Attending last minute request from a client or boss. Now, in order to manage this task, it's important to plan ahead. Although some of this could be unexpected, but once it happens, you're going to learn from it. Make sure that you're going to learn from it. And once you learn from it, you are going to expect it to happen the next time around, and you're going to know better how to intervene. Plan ahead, try to anticipate potential crisis. And once it happened already, you can prepare ahead so that you can avoid the so-called last minute rushes. So once you have this task on hand, this important and urgent task, you have to dedicate uninterrupted time to tackle this task as they are in front of you. You can also try to delegate this task, urgent tasks, to team members who can handle this effectively and must be done on time or ahead of the deadline. And as you go along, learn from your experience. Now, this task can also lead you to burnout if you're constantly operating in this, categories. If this is really your job, well, like for example, I could relating to my experience when you are in the A&E, acute and emergency department, emergency room, ER. But not all the tasks when the patient comes along, with the stab wound, for example. So You know exactly what has to be done now. No distractions, no planning. You know, those interventions that you have to do with patients with stab wound has been learned by the previous experience before, so it's all automatic. It's urgent. It's life and death. So you have a protocol for that, and you already have things to be expected by from having those patients. So like emergency, those are emergency situations, and including the protocols and diagnostics has to be done. Otherwise, yeah, that's urgent surgery. So it depends on the status of the patient. So that is in the medical field. So it could be in your work, when something came up, like for example, like a meeting, emergency meeting, but you have some tasks to be done, for yourself, for your own project, but the head of the department call out the meeting for you. So the next time around, you have to plan ahead that there could be meeting that's going to arise anytime soon or the next time around. So I have to finish this task so that whenever our boss, the head of the department, will call out the meeting, emergency meeting for us, I can still finish the task on time without burning out, without being stressed out. So the benefits of this having this task, it ensures that it ensures you that those critical tasks are completed on time. And the the impact of the emergencies that's in front of you, by addressing them promptly, it's done. And then the next thing to do it, and then done. And then when like for example in the ER, when the patient is stable, then you can plan what has to be done next. You can make a decision what has to be done next. Like for example, like you know the patient has stab wound, and then you stabilize the patient first, and then when the vital signs are stable, then you can plan what has to be done next. Now, in the next quadrant, which is the planning part, which is the second quadrant, non-urgent but important. So these are the tasks which can be done 4 hours, 6 hours from now, or tonight. You can do it tonight, but has to be done. These are the things to do that contributes to your long-term goals and personal growth. These are the activities which can improve your efficiency and effectiveness in doing the urgent and the non-urgent tasks, the quadrant 1. Now I'm going to explain it to you later why. And these are also the tasks, the things to do, which will, help you improve and build relationships, and also at the same time enhance the skills that you want to focus on, you want to master. Now, these activities are, goal setting, short-term and long-term goals, as well as planning. So these are also the tasks like seminars, workshops, working out, maintaining healthy diet, getting enough sleep, investing time in relationship with family, friends, colleagues, going out with your real friends, people who's rooting for you, people whom you consider you can trust. So this is basically work-wise, this is the planning phase. What has to be done tomorrow, so that we can handle crisis the next time around. This is for self-improvement, task. So in managing this type of task, it's important to time block specific times in your calendar for these activities. You're going out with your family and friends, with your colleagues. Time block. If you want to do this within the period of your shift, you have to time block, a certain time of your day while you're at work. It could be like half an hour for planning ahead, because some crises come up, so you have to plan ahead. So to avoid or prevent this to happen, and if it happens, you know how to manage it better. Now, this type of activities, the second quadrant, which is the not urgent but important, this will also give you a room or a space to decide which habits, which is the best habit for you to develop in your daily routine. For example, exercise, prioritizing, time management if you're a boss. And this will also, this is the phase wherein, you have to reflect, adjust, and regularly review your progress and revise your plans from time to time. And when you become efficient in this, you will eventually going to be effective. This will lead you to your personal and professional growth. And it reduces, planning ahead reduces the likelihood of urgent crisis by proactively looking forward for it. What has to be done when it happens, and how to prevent those crises to ever happen again. And this will lead you to overall well-being, satisfaction. The challenges of this task, the second quadrant, which is not urgent but important, sometimes we neglect this because we focus on our immediate deadline. And that, when you neglect this, if you don't learn anything from the crisis that you're facing right now, and then without reflecting to it, and you don't learn anything from it, and you're going to neglect this planning phase, you're going to get burnout all the way. Today, tomorrow, the rest of the week, if you don't learn anything. So this task requires you to be disciplined and consistent to maintain your focus on what really matters most. This will give you the second quadrant will give you a headspace to really hone the skills in order to handle the immediate and important tasks. At the same time, not neglecting the other aspects of your life: family, friends, health, wealth management, building your empire, hiring and firing people, because you stick to your standards, you stick to your mission, vision, goals of your company. Now we have the third quadrant. Now, this third quadrant is also called as the urgent but not important, which means distractions. Distractions from your, quadrant number one, urgent and important. And this could be a distraction for you, an excuse to procrastinate the quadrant two, the planning phase, the not urgent but important. Quadrant three are distraction activities. So these are answering non-urgent phone calls and emails, attending meetings that are not essential, responding to minor requests from colleagues or friends, handling routine administrative tasks, wherein you can delegate it to other people. This is the quadrant in which you can delegate. Urgent, yes, it's important task, but nothing to do with your goal, so you delegate it. Tasks that seem to be urgent but doesn't contribute to your long-term goal, these are interruptions or demands from others. Time-consuming if not managed properly. Now, how are you going to tackle this? Distractions. Number one is prioritize. Identify your priority and focus on those tasks aligned to your goals. And the best part is delegate. Delegate tasks that do not require your specific skills or attention. Phone calls, you have a secretary. Emails, those type of emails which doesn't need your decision making, the routine emails. And of course, other than delegating this task to your secretary or whoever is in charge, set boundaries. is establish clear boundaries for interruptions. For example, you know, this could be important emails and has something to do with your work. So, if you want to be the one handling this type of emails or things to do, you set a specific time to work on this task. Like after tackling the important task from 8 to 12, you can set time, like it could be 30 minutes to 1 hour. It depends on you. 1 to 2 p.m., 3 to 4 p.m. before you go home. You set specific time to check the status of this activities if it is done by the person whom you delegated the task to, or whatever is your intervention. And you can also use technology, tools, apps to automate the task in order to minimize distractions. So emails, unimportant emails. So you can stop the notification in a certain period of the day while you're working on your important and urgent task. And then afterwards, the second quadrant, while you are working on your important but not urgent tasks, you can time block. You can turn off the notifications in a specific period while you are working on the important stuff. Now, these distractions can actually lead you to having a feeling of being busy but not productive. Might distract you from time spent on important tasks on the quadrant 2. So, instead of planning, you're having a chit chat with your your besties. Instead of planning, you're surfing on the internet on the latest sale. Now, let's go towards the quadrant 4, the not urgent and not important task, the time wasters. You know what I mean? Excessive social media usage, watching TV shows, movies that do not add value to your goals, playing video game, engaging in gossip and idle chatter. So these are the tasks that you can avoid or limit. You don't have to delegate this. It's you who decide whether you can catch up to this or not. I'm not saying that totally avoid this, but this time waster can help you relax if you limit it. This type of task provides you relaxation and mental break from thinking, using your brain the whole time. If you feel relaxed being on social media for an hour, okay, but not throughout the day. You have to manage this in moderation. Time wasting tasks can also give you enjoyment and provide you a temporary stress relief, but not the whole day. Remember, you also have other priorities. You have your family. You have to be present to them. You have to work out. You have to look after yourself. And although you like pizza, but it has to be like not majority of the days in the entire week. You also have to look after your diet, healthy diet, fruits and vegetables thingy, fresh, hello fresh foods. Keep the balance going. Now, having to tackle this different quadrants, will give you a focus, an opportunity to focus on what truly matters, achieve your goals more effectively, and maintain a healthier and more balanced approach to life. Just merely distinguishing the difference between urgency and importance, having these categories of tasks, the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant, will guide you in making informed decisions about how are you going to allocate your time and energy in the most part. Now I'm going to repeat it once again. The 4 quadrants of time management matrix by Stephen Covey. The first one is the urgent and important. These are the things to do which must be managed right now. The second quadrant is not urgent but important. This will help you focus on what's really important, like planning in the most part, goal setting, problem solving, prevention, self-development goals, setting your goals. And on the third quadrant is urgent but not important. Urgent tasks, but not doesn't have something to do with your goals. Calls, calls asking inquiries, emails, shallow relationships, small talks. You can avoid this, or you can delegate this. And then the fourth quadrant is not urgent and not important. You can limit this or avoid. Nonsense movies, shopping, gossiping, watching TVs, social media, etc. You can limit this because this also feels good. This will also give us happiness and relaxation, but it has to be like disciplined too. Now, if you ever like this content today, this episode, you can share it to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts. I'm also in the Amazon Podcasts. It's and by the way of Reinforce Me Club. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thanks a lot.